Okay, so good afternoon, all of you. Today, I'm going to continue my previous sessions. Okay, so initially, I just discussed about PMMC instruments and their constructions and different that means their operating principle and what are the most important features. Okay, that I have already discussed. So after that PMMC, again I will discuss the another topics of analog instruments like moving iron instruments. Okay, then electrodynamometer type instruments, electrostatic instruments, okay, induction type instruments. So different and other analog instruments will be discussed one by one. So but in PMMC, when I had just completed the topic PMMC, so it having some advantages as well as some disadvantages. So we need to know about what are the most important advantages we can observe from PMMC instrument. So first we can understand that what is the basic important advantages. Okay, so that is your sensitivity. Okay, so that is your sensitivity. The sensitivity of that PMMC instrument, all of you know about it. It is very sensitive. Okay, so because of what? Because of very small deflections of current and voltage, that means you can instrument is able to measure such very small variations of that electrical variables, okay, or electrical quantities. Okay, so the sensitive first thing. Next one is the very accurate, because all of you know about the definitions of the accuracy. So how much true value it can be measured. Okay, the error calculations, okay, absolute error calculations, percentage error calculation, if you observe, so you can understand in case of PMMC instrument that overall accuracy comparatively very high. Okay, so with the other electrical, with the other electromechanical or the analog instruments. Okay, so another most important features is your uniform scale. Okay, uniform scale up to 270 degree or more. Okay, so 270 degree means deflections. Okay, how much deflections you can do for that measurement. 270 means 3 into 90. Okay, so approximately 270 degree maximum, or maybe sometimes near about the 360 degree deflections you can also measure. So it depends upon the accuracy of your instruments, also the movement of the pointer. And the most important thing is that uniform scale divisions. Okay, because you can see that the deflection angle theta is directly proportional to the electrical quantities, means maybe voltage or current. So what happened? So if any kinds of displacement of that current and voltage, so you can directly able to measure that amount of deflections is made by that pointer. Okay, so if it is uniformly distributed, so it is very simple because it's the linearly distributed system. So it's very easier to measure that value, as well as you can do that that means manufacturing in your own laboratory also. Okay, that's the basic benefits. Okay, the linear distribution of the scale, very effective build in damping. Okay, so in my today's session I am also discussing about different types of damping. Okay, so you can understand that in PMMC instrument we can observe that good amount of damping inherently we are observed, because that eddy current damping. Okay, because we are using some soft iron yoke or soft iron metallic fork will be there, and that moving coil is winding up that metallic or the soft iron fork. So that may cause some of the inherent eddy current damping. Okay, that may mitigate the initial vibrations. Okay, initial vibrations of the pointer. Then next one is your low power consumptions. Okay, so it's low power consumptions because that if you observe that range of that PMMC instruments, normally ammeter and voltmeter, you can observe that the current range is from microampere level to milliampere range. Okay, so due to that microampere range to milliampere range, definitely the power losses will be from micro range to milli range. Okay, and it is not so significantly high. on average you can use most of the cases. Free from hysteresis and not affected by that external field because it's permanent magnet shield the coil from that external magnetic fields, because you can see in PMMC one fixed coil is there, the not fixed coil, one fixed magnet, that is permanent magnet, and one moving coil is there. So always your moving coil is protected by this permanent magnet that situated surrounding or the circumference of this PMMC moving coil. Okay, that's the basic reason it is unaffected by that external magnetic field. Okay, so the your exact external field is not creating any effect to the system, so there is very less amount of hysteresis loss, easily adopted as the multi-range instrument. So from my last session you can understand that you can use that instrument for variable range. Okay, if it's like it behaves like ammeter, it behaves like a voltmeter, so you can defining the zone of that operations. Okay, different multi-range applications you can observe, okay, from my initial slides. So these all are the basic advantages of the PMMC instruments. Similarly, if it is having some advantage, so definitely some disadvantage also be observed, that this instrument because the PMMC instrument can be operated in only direct currents. Okay, so it is not able to measure that AC current or instantaneous current. So in alternating current the instrument does not operate because in the positive half and the pointer experience a force in one direction and the negative half they experience the force from the opposite direction. Okay, so due to this inertia of the pointer the resultant it is retained to zero position, so the average displacement is zero. Okay, that's why there is no deflection in that AC is direct is alternating current through this PMMC instrument. The moving system is very delicate. Okay, moving system very delicate, can easily be damaged by the rough handling. Okay, so because it's very sensitive. Okay, so definitely it may be damaged by the other rough handling or misuses. Okay, the coil being very fine cannot withstand the chronology overloading. Okay, so if huge current is flowing through this coil, that may cause for damage of that coil. If that coil is damaged, so your instrument will be automatically damaged. Okay, so the overloading problem is another significant one. So and it is little costlier comparatively other instrument. Okay, the aging in the instrument, that means permanent magnet and the control spring, may introduce some error. Definitely the if the time is has changed, so definitely the aging effect is coming to the permanent magnet of that PMMC instrument and the coil spring, because up to the time changing the spring constant of that control spring may be changed. Okay, so that is to be observed due to the aging effect. Okay, these all are the disadvantages as well as some of the most important advantages I have already discussed for PMMC. Okay, so controlling system, normally what type of controlling system is observed? Okay, so first one is the spring constant, spring control. So here you can see this is the spring. Okay, so spring of the PMMC instruments are there and it's your pointer. So directly pointer shaft is connected. So the deflections is happened or observed. So it is graduated scales are there. So it is uniformly distributed scale. So it's your control spring. Okay, you can observe your control spring. These all are the control spring. So it's your balance weight. Okay, balance weight is there for maintaining or for creating that or mitigating that oscillations in the pointer. So that's why the balance weight is there. So that may cause for increasing that moment inertia of that pointer. So that may cause for that may mitigate that unnecessary oscillations of that pointer. One spindle you can observe that is connected through that shaft. Okay, so if you see that diagram, so you can understand it's your spring. One terminal of the spring is connected to the surface of that PMMC instrument. Another terminal is connected to your shaft. Okay, this is your shaft. Okay, this is your shaft, and it is your pivot jewelling. Okay, pivot gear jewelling bearings is there. It is your scale, pointer, spring A and spring B, and again you can see that balance weight is there. Okay, so one terminal is connected, another is connected to the shaft. Okay, so it is the spring control structure of the controlling unit of PMMC. Okay, so next one is here gravity control. Okay, so different type of comparisons. So first one spring control, second one is here gravity control. In case of gravity control, what happens? The pointer is there and one balance weight. Okay, one balance weight is connected to this pointer. Okay, so if the pointer position has changed, then what happens? If the pointer position has changed, so the balance weight definitely it will also change its position, and always try to train, always try to maintain its the equilibrium positions, always try to make the stable conditions for the for which operations, for the stable operations and minimal oscillatory operations. Okay, so if that balancing, if that balance weight is maintaining its equilibrium, so you can observe the point there will be lesser oscillations in the pointer. Totally you can observe that the balance weight or control weight is there, that weight is totally depends upon our gravitational force. Okay, so if it is affected by the gravitational force, so inherently the gravitational force is used in these operations for mitigating or minimizing the control, minimizing the pointer oscillation. That's why it is called the gravity based control. Okay, the some diagram also be there. So originally it is in directly gravity control position, that is omega t, sorry, that is mg. Okay, and now some of the angle is there. So due to the angle you can see the theta is there. Theta may be cos for mg sin omega t and mg cos omega t. So one is countering the balance. Okay, here it is directly perpendicular to the earth. Okay, directly the mg is countering that oscillation of the pointer. If the pointer having some of the deflection, you can see different positions of that balance. Okay, some of the deflections are there, so that may cause that, depends upon the angle. Okay, the angle in between the perpendicular positions to the inclined positions. Okay, so the total controlling force depends upon what? Depends upon the angle. Okay, now if you're going to compare the spring and gravity control, you can observe that gravity control has the different advantages over the spring control. Which what type of advantages? First one, you can see it is cheaper. Definitely it will be cheaper. Also one another advantages is that simple to operations. Okay, so in case of spring, the how much spring constant you need to be calculated. Okay, and which type of spring constant is suitable for your system, that also be you have to calculate it. But in case of balance weight, definitely it will be required how much values of that weight of that balance, that also be required. But comparatively it is cheaper and the simple way of operation. Okay, independent of the temperature. In case of spring constant, what happened? It having positive temperature coefficient, that may cause for what? If the temperature is increased, so current flowing through the spring also be varied. Okay, so that may cause for changing of the resistance with the time. But in case of balance weight, what happens? There is no need for carrying the current through by this balance weight. So with it, it will be time invariant. Means that resistance of that path will be time invariant, and it is not depends upon the temperature. Okay, so all the time it will give you the exact value. Does not deteriorate with the time. Definitely there the aging effect, if you observe, the aging effect will be lesser in case of balance weight. But the spring control, it is much more sophisticated and much more accurate compared to your balance. Okay, so also that's why it is cheaper in nature, the gravity control. Okay, these three are the most significant features for the gravity control and compared in between gravity control and the spring control. So now we are interested about that. Initially it was controlling system, now we are interested about the damping system. What are the different types of damping we can observe in our instruments? Like analog instruments means electromechanical instruments. Okay, that type of balancing unit, in previous case controlling unit, is used for moving iron as well as PMMC as well as other instruments. Okay, so it's these all are the very generalized features. Okay, now damping system also it to be the very generalized features. So what are the different type of dampings is there? So first one is your air friction damping, Next one is your fluid friction damping, and third one is your eddy current damping. So you can see that third process is normally used for PMMC instrument. So in PMMC instrument, you can see over there it's your metallic yoke. Okay, so what when the moving coil is wounded about this yoke, so when that moving coil may cause for rotating of that shaft. Okay, so shaft is directly connected inside of this yoke. So what happened due to the rotations of that soft iron yoke in the field of permanent magnet, so that may cause for some of the cross sectional current. Okay, that is your eddy current, because normally eddy current is observed the cross section of that instruments or the cross section of that core. So that may cause for eddy current damping to the pointer oscillations. In case of air friction damping, you can observe that one piston. Okay, so it's your pointer. You can observe it is your pointer, and the spindle is connected over here. Spindle means shaft. Okay, so another terminal of the spindle is connected through the piston of the air valve. Okay, so the cylinder is there, air cylinder is there, or air chamber is there. Okay, one valve is there. So what happens when the pointer is moving, the spindle also be responsible. If the pointer is moving, so spindle also responsible for movement of this piston. Okay, so what happened? So the movement of the piston from initial condition to final condition. If the air is there, so piston is trying to reduce the volume of the air. Okay, so after certain time, if the controlling force is too high, then what happened? The pointer oscillation will be high. So what happened? The piston is trying to move towards the surface of that air chamber. So what happened? It tried to reduce the volume of that air, but air will give that counter force. It will not try to reduce the volume of that of its own. Okay, so it will giving you that counter force. That force will be coming to the countering, that force also coming and countering to the pointer, that will mitigate the oscillations of the pointer. Okay, so it is coming the damping system by the air friction damping. Okay, you can see over there for the moving iron element. So it in moving iron instrument, how it will be arranged. Okay, it is observed, you can observe over here that it is your total shaft. Okay, total shaft is there, valve. Okay, so instrument is there, and some of the pistons. Okay, some of the pistons also be there. Okay, so that will be situated such a manner. If the pointer is trying to move, some of the air piston is directly connected to your pointer. That may cause for countering the total movement of the pointer. So that will provide you the air compressions and air compressions. Okay, that will provide you that countering effect, the movement of the piston. Next one is the fluid friction damping. In case of fluid friction damping, you can see that valve is full of, that chamber is normally full of oil. Okay, so oil, that frictional force is much more high. So what happened, that viscosity. Okay, the viscosity always responsible for that oil frictions or the frictions of that moving substance. Here you can see the vein or the fins of that moving of that. Actually this fins is connected. Okay, the shaft of that the shaft of the analog instrument. Okay, if that analog instrument try to move, if the analog instrument try to move, then that valve, okay, that valve is also moving inside of that oil. Okay, so if it is moving inside of the oil, so what happened, it will reduce, it will that viscous friction is countering, the movement of that pointer. Okay, so that will mitigate the oscillations of that pointer. So normally fluid frictions also be used for damping purpose. I have already discussed in eddy current damping. In eddy current damping, normally you can also observe for that induction type analog instruments. Okay, where you can see one in our home, when that nowadays what happened, we are using that digital energy meter. But if you have that analog energy meter, you can see over there one aluminum disc was there. Okay, one aluminum disc was there, that disc was rotating. Okay, after some rotations, then what happened, some of the meter will be situated over there. That the reading of the meter is directly proportional to the rotations of this aluminum disc. Okay, so what happens if the disc is rotate faster, the meter will change faster. Okay, because some of the circulating current will be circulate in this aluminum disc, and that is responsible for rotations of the aluminum disc. So what happen, we are normally using some electromagnets. Okay, electromagnets, so you can observe the disc is rotate inside of these electromagnets. Then what happen, there will be permanent magnet field in between the north pole and south pole, so lines of force will be there and disc will be try to move inside of these lines of force. When it will be trying to rotate, then what happens, some of the flux line will be cut. Okay, that cutting of the flux line may cause for circulating current inside of the disc. That circulating current is countering the rotations of that aluminum disc. Okay, the rotation of the ultimate or resultant rotations of that aluminum disc. Okay, countering the rotations of that aluminum disc. Okay, so that's the basic motivations for using this type of braking magnet. Normally such situations also called that eddy current damping. Okay, the eddy current is used for damping purpose. Okay, I think all of you are able to understand that how much I have covered till now. Now we are going to start that moving iron instruments. Okay, in case of moving iron instruments, so that moving iron instruments normally used for what? It is used for measurement of AC. Okay, measurement of AC. Sometimes what happen, it is also be actually what happen, there is some range if you compare. So first case, here you can see normally basic range is there. How much range is there? 100 milliampere to 10 milliampere to 100 100 milliampere range to 100 ampere. Okay, so that is coming in such a manner. Then another range, if you see, that is for PMMC instrument, the range was 10 microampere to 100 milliampere. Okay, you can observe over there. The uses is there: DC MI ammeter and voltmeter, AC MI ammeter and voltmeter. The coil resistance also be there 10 ohm to 1 kilo ohm. Uses also be there, that is DC PMMC ammeter voltmeter and AC PMMC ammeter voltmeter with rectifier in case of PMMC. So this slide is normally consist of the comparison of moving iron and permanent magnet moving coil instruments. Okay, so in case of moving coils instrument, you can observe over there that moving iron and or the MI instrument can be classified into two things. Okay, two types. Okay, so in MI, first one is called that attraction type moving iron instrument, another is called repulsion type moving iron instrument. So repulsion type moving iron instrument also been classified into two classes, that is radial vane type, another one is the coaxial vane type. Okay, so it's I am coming to my next slide, so where I will discuss about their operation. So before starting my next slide, so I want to say something, because the magnetics, if the magnetics is directly related to your system, then what happen, magnets have two type of principle. One is called the attraction principle, another is called repulsion principle. Okay, so normally what happen, if we are using some of the principle, that magnet is attract the another ferromagnetic substance, sometimes magnetic substance, so that is called that attraction principle. And repulsion means only two magnets will be there that will repulse each other. Okay, so that's why both of the process, both of the properties is available in moving iron because in magnetics. So that's why moving iron instruments is having two types based on the attraction principle and the repulsion principle. Okay, so that's the basic motivations of two type of MI type instruments. Okay, so from the name moving iron, you can understand that one iron plate or one iron former is moving inside of the magnetic field. Okay, that's the basic motivation. That's why it is called that moving iron instrument. So first we need to see that of diagrams. Okay, so what happened, so first we have discussed about the attraction type moving iron instrument, then we will go for repulsion type moving iron instrument. Okay, so first attraction type moving iron instrument, if you make that cross sectional area, Okay, so it is not it is not horizontal cross section, it is vertical cross sections. Okay, you can observe that one moving iron is directly connected to the shaft. Okay, directly connected to the shaft or the pointer. Okay, so pointer is connected with that moving iron. So to balance, one is balance weight, it is connecting over there, balance weight. Another one is called controlling weight. Two things are also been observed. So one shaft, okay, that most important thing, that moving iron former, so that uh, elliptical shapes thing, it is called moving iron format, that one moving iron format. Okay, so it's connected with what, it connected with the pointer. Okay, and you can see another piston also be there, air piston. Okay, that also anti damping chamber. Okay, so why such kinds of controlling unit, much more controlling unit you have observed over here compared to the PMMC instrument that I am coming. Before we need to go for controlling units, first we need to know the operation, how it will be operated. So you can see in the two types of coils are there. So first surface coil is there, another surface coil also be there. Okay, so what happened, that coils, if you see, the current is passing from coil 1 to coil 2. So due to the current passing from coil 1 to coil 2, then what happened, one will be the north pole, another will be the south. All of you can understand, as per the direction, as per the current flow through that coil. If one side is north pole, definitely another side will be south pole. Okay, then what happen, if you see that one moving iron is connected over here, so definitely one side will be attracted, that moving iron, so that may cause the, due to the attraction force, that may cause for movement of the pointer. The pointer is there, so it may cause for movement of the pointer. So as per the deflection of the pointer, you can understand the scale will be there, definitely the scale will be there. Due to the deflection of the pointer tip will be sliding over the scale, so you can able to measure that amount of value, how much current flowing through this coil, and proportional current definitely. So how it's squarely proportional or cube proportional, that will be coming later as per the expressions like PMMC instrument. So but initially the motivations of work, you can understand that moving iron plate or format will be attracted by this coil. Okay, if it is attracted by the coil and the pointer is connected at that format, definitely due to the attraction, the pointer will be deflected. Okay, and you can able to understand that value. So why such type of balance weight of are connecting over there, balance weight, control weight, definitely control weight will be there for countering the effect of deflection torque, like your PMMC instrument. So PMMC instrument, you can understand, you can even try to remember that one deflection torque is there and one control torque is there, that was provided by the spring. Okay, so it will countering the movement of what, countering the movement of the deflection torque. Similar kinds of thing you have also observed, that control weight is there for countering the movement of that pointer. Okay, that's the basic thing. And what is the value of this, what is the reason for this balance weight? Okay, so balance weight and the piston both are there for mitigating the oscillations of the pointer. Here you can observe directly the movement is happened directly to the attraction force of this coil winding current. If you increase the winding current intensity, then what happens, the attraction will be much more. Okay, so as per the increasing values of the attraction, then pointer deflection will be too high. So what happened, due to the huge pointer deflections, okay, the force of the huge deflecting torque, then what happened, the pointer is try to move, try to oscillate much more compared to the PMMC instrument. That's why we are required two things. We are required that anti-damping chambers, and or it is called that air piston, that will provide you that anti-damping, okay, of that pointer, and the balance weight, that also balancing the equilibrium value. Because the control weight is there, and balance weight also be required for countering these two weight, and finally you will get the resultant value, and that resultant value will counter the pointer position. You can observe that balance weight and control weight both are 90 degree apart each other, so resultant force will be coming 45 degree. Here the 45 degree. Okay, and that 45 degree, you can see that pointer is also situated 90 degree apart from your resultant force. Okay, so what happened, that pointer will be controlled in good manner. Okay, so that's called the attraction type moving iron. So another features you can see over there, another diagram. Okay, so it is your coil, two springs are there, and it is your pointer. Normally it is happened for what? It is happened for PMMC instrument. It is for MI, it is for PMMC instrument. Now we are going for repulsion type moving iron instrument. So two types of repulsion type instrument. One is called radial vane type, another is called coaxial vane type. Okay, so in case of radial vane type, what happen, if you see that cross sectional area, NS, one is movable magnet is there, that is NS. Okay, repulsion means both of the substance will be magnet. Okay, attraction means one is magnet, electromagnet, another one is ferromagnetic element. But in this case, both of the fixed plate and movable plate, both should be what? Both should be having that magnetic property, means both having that permanent magnet. Okay, so one is movable magnet that is connected with the spindle. You can see the diagram. Okay, movable vane or movable magnet. Another one is called fixed vane. So fixed vane is connected to the surface. Okay, it is connected to the surface of what? Surface of moving iron instrument. Okay, so then what happened, both of the magnets are there, so they are repulsing each other. If they are repulsing each other, that may cause for what? That may cause for repulsions of the pointer, or that may cause for the deflection of the pointer. Okay, so pointer will be connected to the spindle. Okay, so after that the rest of the portion will be same, like balance weight, control weight, and that air damping piston. Okay, you can use also oil damping piston. Okay, so as per your requirement. Okay, so rest of the things are same. So it is called radial vane type because it is situated radially. Next one is called the coaxial vane type. Coaxial vane type means it's look like a what? It look like a cylinder. So you can see the cross sectional area. So definitely the spring, definitely if you see the spindle is there, and one NS. NS means it is moving on. So you can see that moving iron or the movable vane is connected to the radial position. Okay, radial position means it is rotating radially, sorry, it is rotating in cylindrical path or the circular path. Okay, like that manner. Okay, so one fixed vane is there, it is your fixed vane and it is moving vane. So and the spring also be there, that spring is there like that manner, spring 1, spring 2. So in that case again the pivot gear dwelling also be there for fix up that spindle and the shaft. Okay, so if that interaction in between the fixed vane and movable vane, the spindle or the pointer, spindle or the shaft of that instrument will be rotated. If the pointer is connected to the spindle, definitely pointer will be rotated and it will be slide over that scale. Okay, like your moving iron scale. Okay, you can see that real-time diagram of that moving iron instrument, the coaxial vane type MI instrument. So number 1 is called coil, it is your coil. 2 is fixed coil, it is fixed coil. 3 is movable coil, the vane is there, movable coil. 4th is control spring, it is the control spring, you can observe the control spring. Okay, and 5 is pointer, so 5 is pointer directly connect with your control spring. Here you can see the scaling will be there. And 6 is external shield. Definitely external shield is important for moving iron instrument because of what? Because external magnetics having some effect to the system. For attraction time no shield is required. Because of what? Because outer side that electromagnet is there, so that will protect the internal moving iron. But in this case, all the cases the fixed magnet is there. So if you are not giving the shielding outside of that magnet of that instrument, then what happens? That may cause for aging or the damage after certain use of moving iron instrument. Okay, so shielding, proper shielding is required for preventing your system or protecting your system from external magnetic field. Okay, so then the torque equations of moving iron instruments is very important. So what are the different definitely for due to the current flowing through this coil, then what happened? then it will cause for changing of the magnetics, so that may cause for deflections or attraction of your moving iron. Okay, so it also responsible for what, the small deflections, that means d theta of some mechanical work to be done. Because of what? Because the moving iron instrument, the energy relations can be considered for the small increment in the current supply to this instrument. Okay, so definitely current supply to the instrument are important. So d theta, what is d theta? Small deflections of the pointer, some mechanical work to be done. Definitely td is what? Deflecting torque. So you have to calculate the value of td. The mechanical work done also be there. Work done means torque into angular displacement. All of you know about that. Work done equals to angular, that means mechanical work done equals to T into angular displacement T theta. Okay, so due to the change of the inductance, there will be the change of the energy storage in the magnetic field. So Td into d theta. So it is your mechanical work done. So then what happened? The change of the inductance. So why the change of the inductance is observed? The energy stored in the magnetic field. Definitely the energy stored in the magnetic field, that may cause for changing of the inductance. So I is what? I is the initial current that is given. So what is L? L is the instrument inductance. Theta is the deflection. Theta is your deflection. If the current increase by dl, di, actually current increase by di, then it calls for changing of the deflection of d theta. Definitely, if the current increase, the deflection will be increased. Current will be increased by di, so deflection will be increased by d theta, and the inductance also be increased by dl. So in order to involve the increment of di, so it will be di actually. The current, the applied voltage must be increased like that. You know, all of you know about that, E equal to d theta dt. So you can say like that, theta equal to L into I. Okay. So it is coming I dl d theta plus L di d theta. Okay, so you can cross multiply the thing. So it is coming what? E di dt equal to I dl plus L di. Okay, so again you are multiplying E into I, because you are trying to what? You are trying to go for energy. Okay, dt is there, energy is power into time, integrating quantity. So you have to multiply with I. So it is coming ei dt equals to I square dl plus IL di. Okay, the substitute the value of E dt from the equations, because you are increasing the some amount of current from I to dl, and L to L plus dl, and theta equal to theta plus d theta. So if you change the stored energy, so therefore the stored energy change from, you have replaced that value, I replaced by I plus di. So it is coming what? It is coming I plus di. So directly if you see what is the stored energy, half L into I square in the inductance stored energy. So I will be replaced by I plus di. So it is coming half into I plus di square into L plus dl. Okay, so if you are able to multiply both of them, so what is your change of stored energy? So initially the stored energy was half L into I square. Now it is changed to half I plus dl di whole square into L plus dl. So you can multiply both of them and subtract with your initial stored energy. So it is coming like that, as di and dl are very small, neglecting the second and higher order term in small quantities. So this will becomes that il dl plus half I square dl. If you subtract both of them, so it is coming half I else half I square L. So if you make it square, so it is coming I square plus 2I di plus dl square, di square will be neglected, so it is coming half I square plus 2I di. Okay, into half. So you can multiply with the L into dl. So finally it will come I L dl plus half I square dl. So from the principle of the conservation of energy, so the electrical energy supplied is coming increase of the stored energy plus mechanical work done. Okay, increase of the stored energy and the mechanical work done. So you can replace all of them. So what is the increase of the electrical energy? It is coming from these expressions. Okay, so increase of the stored energy, it is IL di half I square dl. It is increase of stored energy. Total energy is coming from this formula. So it is coming I square dl plus IL di. And what is your mechanical energy? It is coming from first formula, Td into d theta. Okay, so this you can cancel, so it will coming from right side to left side, so it is coming half I square dl, and IL di both of the side it will be cancel each other, so Td d theta is coming half I square dl. So what is deflecting torque? Td equals to half I square dl d theta. So you can see Td is directly proportional to I square. So in PMMC instrument, deflecting torque is directly proportional to I. That means theta is directly proportional to I. Okay, so in this case you can see it is proportional to I square. Okay, that means in MI instrument the scaling, okay, scaling definitely will be in non-linear in nature. Okay, because it is in square, where Td is in Newton meter, Td is in your Newton meter, I is in your ammeter, L is the Henry, theta is your radian. So moving system is provided with the control spring, and turn the deflecting torque is balanced by the controlling torque. So deflecting torque and controlling torque, they are countering each other, and deflect controlling torque you can see the you can consider it's a spring constant, Tc equals to k theta. Okay, so k is the control spring constant and theta is the deflection in radian. Okay, so now as per the equilibrium condition, Tc equals to Td, so it is k theta equal to half I square dl d theta. So deflection theta equals to coming half I square by k dl d theta. So if the inductance, change of inductance is constant with the change of theta, then what happens? Theta directly proportional to, because k is constant, half also constant, so theta is directly proportional to the I square. So what you can conclude, that the deflection is proportional to the deflection is proportional to the square of the RMS value. What type of value? RMS value. In PMMC it was coming the DC value, means average value. That's why in AC measurement by PMMC instrument the resultant value will be 0, so there is no deflection. But in case of moving iron instrument, you are getting that RMS value, okay, of that operating current. Okay, the deflection torque is therefore the unidirectional, whatever may be the polarity of the current, because in AC there is no fixed polarity all the time. You can consider it's an instantaneous polarity. Okay, depends upon your instantaneous polarity, so it will not be deferred. Okay, it will not be affected as per, because the directly there is no such polarity of that current, because it's a square term. Okay, square value always coming positive, so it having unidirectional, what happened, maybe the polarity of the current, there will be no effect. Okay, what are the most important advantages of instrument? Definitely it is robust in construction. Okay, you can observe that it is definitely it's in robust, so all the situations it most of the time giving the robust value. That means the repeat, if you do the repetitions, that value should be same. Okay, the suitable for measuring for both DC and AC, that is most important. So in PMMC it is useful for measurement only DC, but MI it is useful for DC AC both of the measurement. Can withstand the overload momentarily? Definitely the overloading condition will be there. Okay, that also be taken care by this PMMC instrument. Okay, so as the deflection is proportional to I square, what are the most important disadvantages? Okay, so what are the most important disadvantages of MI instrument? As the deflection of the proportion is I square, hence the scale of the instrument is not uniform, means they are in non-linear in nature. Okay, and clamp the lower end and expand the upper position. Okay, so for the lower end it is squeezed, so it is cramped. Okay, means the scalings are very nearer to each other, and when it will be expanded in the upper position, so scaling will be much more differ. Okay, in the upper position, it is affected by the stray magnetic field. Definitely it is affected by the stay magnetic field. That's why additional shielding is required. There is the hysteresis error of the instrument because you are using soft iron core of that moving iron instrument. So the hysteresis error definitely it been observed over here. The hysteresis error may be minimized by using the vanes of the nickel iron alloy. So if you using some of the alloy, okay, of the nickel and iron, because vanes means moving iron instruments, okay, the moving iron positions, okay, that is responsible for rotation. So nickel iron alloy, so that may reduce the effect of hysteresis error, okay, because ferromagnetic elements definitely having hysteresis error. Okay, you have to minimize that hysteresis error. When the use of measuring AC of the reading may be affected by variations of the frequency, definitely. My request is mute your speakers. Okay, all the listeners, okay, please mute your speaker. Some interference noise is coming from my side. Please mute your speaker. Please mute your audio. So due to the changing of the or the variations of the frequency, due to the variations of the frequency that affected. Okay, because the reactance of the coil will change.
Sir, I
The
can't hear, sir.
students are suggested please mute your speaker. Why these kinds of things is happening? I suggest you to mute your speaker. The last point of disadvantage is that large amount of power consumption to the supply that I spiral loss in the coil and the magnetic losses in the vane, and it is not very the sensitive instrument. Okay, these all are the disturbances is observed in the moving iron instrument. Okay, after that, if all of you solve this numerical problem, okay, so try to note down this problem, and it is your homework that you should solve in your home in your classwork copy. Please note it down.
Sir, zoom the questions.
All the presenters or attendees, please mute your. I hope all of you are. My slide is visible from your end. Please note down these problems. Okay, the problem is.
Sir, full screen, sir, full screen.
Okay, so I think my slide is visible. So problem is that the inductance of a moving iron ammeter with a full scale deflection of 90 degree at 1.5 ampere is given by the expression of inductance that is given L equals to 200 plus 40 theta minus 4 theta square minus theta cube microhenry, where theta is the deflection in the radians from the zero positions. Estimate the angular deflections of the pointer for a current of 1 ampere. Okay, so maximum current it can be carried by this instrument is 1.5 ampere, and here you can see the for the current is maximum current is 1 ampere. Okay, so if you see the solution, so you know the expressions of the MI instrument. Deflection theta is half I square by k dl d theta. You have the expressions of that L, so you can derivate that value. So it is coming 200 plus 4 theta 40 theta minus 4 theta square minus theta cube microhenry. So dl d theta is coming of what? This is constant, it will be 0. So 40 minus 8 theta minus 3 theta square. The theta value is given for the 0 position. Radian 0 positions means theta equal to pi by 2. Okay, and that current is given 1.5 ampere. So theta is pi by 2. That half, pi by 2 into half into current is 1.5 square by k into the value of the dl d theta, and theta is replaced by pi by 2. So directly it is coming, the value of k is 14.348 Newton meter per radian. Okay, now for the current of 1 ampere, so what will be the angular deflection? That you have to calculate. Simple problem. Theta, the expression of theta is what? Half I square by k dl d theta. So you know the value of I1, you know the value of k, okay, but the expression of the dl is coming, it is 40 minus 8 theta, 40 minus 8 theta minus 3 theta square. So quadratic equation is coming, so you can use the Siddharthacharya's formula. So directly you can find out the value of theta equal to 1.00712 rad. So conversion from rad to degree, it is coming 57.7 degree. That is your problem number 1. Then second problem, okay, you have to solve it in your hostel, sorry, you have to solve it in your home. That the problem number 2, please note down, the law of deflection of the moving iron ammeter is given by I equal to 4 theta to the power n ampere. Okay, so where theta is the deflection in radian and n is a constant, the self inductance when the meter current is 0 is 10 millihenry, L equals to 10 millihenry. The spring constant is given that 0.16 Newton meter per radian. Determine the expressions of the self inductance of the meter of a function of theta and n. With the n equal to 0.75, calculate the meter current and the deflections that corresponds to the self inductance of 60 millihenry. So all of you please note down this form, note down this numerical problem. You have to solve it to the home. So I think this is, today I have discussed, or I have finished that MI type instrument. In my next class I will discuss about next instrument, that is electrodynamometer type instruments. Okay, I think there is no query about this matter. So if you have any query, definitely you can ask me. So there is some discussion session, okay, so I can give your answer properly.